Yesterday, in one of the dailies, the Niger State governor was quoted to have said that there's no morality in politics, that if you cannot lie, you've got no business being in politics.
I could not disagree more. I could not disagree more with that statement. Because if politics has to do with trust, leaders are put there in trust, and you have got to earn that trust by your behavior. It is the title of the first book I wrote, by the way, A Trust to Earn. How could you say you're lying to the people and you will be able to gain their trust? It just doesn't work. You know, the people might not be able to push you away and things like that, but they're not going to trust you.
You don't think that the people have come to love lies?
Then a leader whose vision does not transcend that of the people is not really required to be a leader. A leader must be ahead of the people. You know, yes, you come from among them, but you desire to be a leader because you have a vision, you know, that transcends the level where the people are. So this is where they are, but I think this is where they could be. This is where they should be taken to. And I think that we should not just say, oh, that's the way they are, and we should relax.
Are you sincerely hoping to win the elections? Or are you just there to
make a point?
To make a point, exactly.
With God, all things are possible, is probably what I would say. But look, the outcome does not depend on me. So because the outcome depends on you, depends on the people who are out there. If they think, hey, this woman is saying something great, something that we can identify with, then it's in their power to vote me in, isn't it? So I am in to give this my best shot. Okay? I'm giving this my best shot.
Because I'm thinking to myself, I don't know how big your party is, whether or not you've been able to cover many states, or whether you're still doing, one state at a time, my local government, my community. How big is your party? Because if that were the case, one would say that why don't you aim for something where you can begin to show, if you get in, show the difference between yourself and another political party?
Yes, I've often had to respond to that question. The reality actually is that I can't really contest where I live, because you know how it is in Nigeria. I am from Oyo State. I live in Osun State at the Obafemi Awolowo University, where I have worked for many years. Okay, so I am known in Ife. Not so much. I left Ibadan, where I come from, many, many years ago. So I'm not known there. You think the people of Ife are going to allow me to contest? I think it's probably only Lagos that has been able to integrate so-called outsiders or foreigners or whatever, and given them the opportunity to be part of the system. It just would not work, because they'll ask me where my father's house is in Ife. Okay, that is the reality of Nigeria. So in a sense, you know, it's this national level where you don't really have to prove that you are from a particular state or region.
It is a presidential election, so you must go around the entire country.
Yeah, it may not be entire, but at least touch the different regions to start with.
That's why Margaret asked the question about whether you're there for victory or you're just there to establish yourself as someone who's contested for the presidency, because we've seen people going round, and
you've not seen me.
That means money.
Yeah.
And if you say money doesn't play a big role in politics, how do you go to these geopolitical zones if you don't want to go to every state and also make your campaign get to the grassroots? For instance, in far north of the country.
Interestingly, Kowa Party is sort of more established in the north.
Oh, really?
Than in the south. Yes, we participated in the last elections, in the governorship elections in Adamawa State, where Kowa Party actually had a good showing. So we're in Adamawa, we're in Borno State, we're in Bauchi, and so Kowa Party is actually better known in the north than in the southern part.
All right.
Of the country.
Which one thing in the country now would rank topmost in your agenda to fix if you were president?
You know, I kind of hesitate. It would be between security and education. But I have a feeling that education would have an edge. Even over, it is true that security is important. If you are dead, you are gone. All right? So there's no doubt about that. But a lot depends so much on the people's education. And I don't just mean schooling. I mean general education, awareness, the people's awareness of their responsibilities to their government, of the duties of the government towards them. That is all part of education. And that might actually have an impact on security.
So how would you...
Exactly, I was just about to ask that question. So what would you do about insurgency, for instance?
What would I do about insurgency? There must be the realization that this is a global issue, like our president has been saying. And it is true. You have the Al-Qaeda, the Taliban, the Al-Shabaab, ISIS, and so on. It is a global issue. And I believe that such a global issue needs global cooperation. All right? So there must be a lot of cooperation with other countries, with international agencies, and so on and so forth. But I also think, coming back to the issue of trust, I think the people's perception of their leader has benefits, has a lot of benefits. When people can trust their leader, I think there'll be repercussions down the line. And I have a feeling that even in the area of insurgencies, you know, the people might be more encouraged to give information. You know, intelligence gathering, you know, is crucial to winning this battle. But imagine a people who feel, not to talk of the soldiers who are on the front, you know, really confronting the Boko Haram. If you do not treat them well, if they have to fight to get their benefits and so on, you know what that does to their morale. And then the people outside, if they believe in the efforts of their leaders as sincere, as true, as trustworthy, you might get a lot more cooperation, which would help, I believe, in the fight against this insurgency.
So first of all, what would you say that we've done right, and in what areas are we not doing well enough that you intend to improve upon, especially in tackling matters on security? On
security, I believe that our soldiers, one must, you know, really appreciate the efforts of those who are right at the forefront, who are faced with this terror on a daily basis. So I really would like to add my little voice to the various other voices that are commending our soldiers, the military, and so on. I think we just need to encourage them more, to equip them better, so that they do not feel they are going against a foe that is better armed than they are. Those are some of the things that we have been hearing about concerning this insurgency.
But from your perspective, I mean, the kind of ideals that you are promoting, because we have people who have come here and said, look, when they went into politics, they went to certain places, they got the same kind of response. It's not the grammar that we want, we need more than that. Do you think that the people are actually ready for the kind of ideals you're promoting?
I always believe that you don't know that people are ready for something until it happens. So if you say, oh, the people might not be ready, and then you don't do it, when will you find out? What are the indications that you would have? For instance, to say that people are ready. You just must, be willing to give, go for it.
So do you plan political rallies? How do you intend to move across the country? Is that happening already?
It's not happening already, but it's about to begin. We have mapped out, our strategies, places we would like to visit, people, institutions, various places to touch around the country.
Well, the elections are here already. Well, not too much of time now. We're counting days. But would you be thinking of a measure? Now, I'm talking about the support. Maybe before the elections, COA now comes up to say we're not going into the elections proper at a presidential level. We're rooting for support for Mrs. A, Mr. B. Are you thinking in that direction?
We're not thinking in that direction. The party has not met to consider that option. We are in this because we believe in it. We believe in it, and we want to go through with it. We want to go through it. Yeah.
So, what are your chances? How do you rate your chances at the polls?
Good. Good. If people can get to hear me, if people can allow themselves to be touched at the level where they don't normally respond, not at the level of, you come to me and it's what's in this for me, the level where we usually...
Do you have any other candidates, or are you just...
I'm not,
your
no,
party's only putting on a presidential
I'm not the
candidate?
only candidate for COA Party at all. COA Party is contesting in about, I think in 17 states of the nation and at different levels.
And you have a vice presidential candidate?
Yes, Alhaji Seydou Boboy from Adamawa State. He is the chairman of the party in Adamawa State, and he's the vice presidential candidate.
All right, Professor Remi Sonaiya, presidential candidate of COA Party. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
All the best.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back after the break. Don't go away.